and I appreciate you being here watching my video. This is a commentary channel and I vary content. I look at anything and everything. If you look at my channel, I've uploaded thousands of videos now. Maybe you might find something on a subject that interests you. And also to let you know, I'm a published author of over 20 books. If you go to Amazon and look for Gem, spelt with a J, J-E-M, Amber Stone, you might find a book that interests you. I have written 2 in particular referring to missing 411. Now I've just uploaded a video about David Paulides did a case of a missing boy. His name was Michael and he was 3 and he had a dog with him and the dog returned, and I posed some questions. Also David Paulides in that video said that the parents went and consulted, I think he said it was a Dutch psychic, and this Dutch psychic was very famous and lectured at university, and the psychic specifically and in great detail told Michael's parents, Stephen was his father's name, where to find the boy. And it's been 50 years and the boy's never been found. The psychic said he was dead and he'd be found near or in a river, but they never found him. So what's happening? So this afternoon's video is called Psychics Missing 411 and Alternate Dimensions, Truth or Reputation. Psychics have been consulted in missing persons cases for decades. Some claim stunning accuracy, others fall short, and skeptics argue they're all just playing a guessing game. But what happens when a famous psychic confidently declares a missing person's fate, only for the case to remain unsolved for 50 years, like in Michael's case? Let's take the case of the 3-year-old boy, Michael, who vanished with his dog in a missing 411 style disappearance. His dog returned covered in burrs, dehydrated and behaving strangely, but the boy was gone. His parents, desperate for answers, turned to a renowned Dutch psychic, a man who even lectured at a university. He told them in detail where to find their son, describing the location precisely. Yet, despite a thorough search by police and family, the child was never found. So, what went wrong? Was the psychic lying to protect his reputation? Some believe famous psychics are under intense pressure to always be right. When your name is attached to credibility, you can't afford to be wrong. So some psychics might bend the truth, offering what sounds like an answer, even if they don't actually see one. This is why unknown psychics like myself or many others, might be more accurate but remain unheard. If a prediction is right, people assume it's luck. If a prediction is wrong, it's dismissed completely. But a famous psychic, their career depends on maintaining credibility. So did this Dutch psychic really see the boy, or did he give an answer because he felt he had to? Did the psychic see the boy, but in another dimension? There's another theory. What if the psychic was telling the truth, but the boy wasn't in our reality anymore? Missing 411 cases are often linked to time slips where people vanish and return later, seemingly minutes later, but actually years have passed. Portals or dimensional shifts where people step into a space that no longer exists in our world. Supernatural forces where the missing are often taken somewhere humans can't normally reach. If the boy, Michael in this case, was no longer in this dimension, maybe the psychic did see him, but in a place police and searchers could never reach. This brings up a chilling questions. If psychics can't see beyond certain boundaries, how many missing people are in a place or places we simply have no way of perceiving? Final thoughts. Was the psychic lying for reputation or seeing something real beyond our reach? If psychics truly see otherworldly realms, then maybe the missing are still there, but just out of reach. If not, then famous psychics may sometimes offer answers just to maintain their status. What do you think? Are psychics limited by the same barriers as the rest of us? Or do some truly see into other realities? Let me know in the comments. And I just want to share with you my own personal experience. Many years ago, there was a very famous case. A schoolboy went missing. Now, I have no relationship, don't know the family, absolutely nothing. And I had not been biased. I had not looked at the news. I had not looked at anything on the internet. But one day I went into this trance, and he appeared to me as clear as day. He told me who had murdered him. He told me that this murderer was part of a pedophile ring, and he also told me that there was more than one victim. He described the car or cars that were involved. He described where he was and what happened. Now, I was shocked, and I thought, I've got to let the police know all this. But I thought, if I know so much, and it looks really sus, they'll come and say, Jem, it looks like I'm guilty. So I wrote anonymously to the police. A few weeks go by. Then suddenly every bit of evidence that I had said in this letter to the police came out, the vehicles were exactly right. In fact, my son showed me all this evidence. This was weeks after I sent the letter on the internet, and I was full. I cold shivers, goosebumps. I have never ever done that again. If you asked me again to locate a missing person, that's not my gift. I don't know why. And with other missing 411, other people have dreamt about where their body is and have been accurate. Is that being a psychic or not? Now, my psychic mediumship lies in the past, and I don't ask questions. I feel that psychics, very famous psychics, often ask leading questions because they've got a reputation to uphold. But I don't. I say, don't tell me any information. I don't want to know. And I'll write down the past, because the past is the past. It's already been. Why I don't like to predict the future is for this reason. Thought creates. Let's say you ask me to predict the future, and I say to you, sorry, you're not going to be rich. You're not going to go out and meet the love of your life. You might say, well, I don't like that prediction. I think I'll go out more often. And just by changing that thought, going out more often, you then meet a man and my prediction is wrong. I don't like making prediction because there's infinite probabilities and possibilities. I have had some luck with the lotto, because some people say, okay, if you're psychic and you're a medium, you should be able to pick lotto. Well, one night I dreamt about the lotto, and in Australia on a Saturday, to get the lottery, you have to get 6 out of 6 numbers. And I dreamt I got 5 out of 6. And for the life of me, I couldn't think of the 6th number. Now, our numbers go from 1 to 45 on Saturday. And I chose the last number, 45. Up came my numbers, and instead of 45, it should have been the first number. I should have picked 1. That's how close I was. And I have predicted other things that have come to be, and I have a book that has a lot of predictions, and I've made a lot of predictions, and I've predicted about 2025. And I'll just do it in a nutshell. There's going to be a lot of, for want of a better word, bad things to happen for us to reset, to vibrate at a higher frequency. The economy is going to crash in America. I told you the San Andreas fault. There's going to be an earthquake. There's also something to do with a nukes. I don't know whether that's a war, and the war, Middle East. And I also predicted that there's going to be an invasion of Poland, and that will start a war, and be very, very worried about China. Now, just on that note, and slightly changing the subject, we often are scaremonged into things, fearmonged into believing things are bad because we don't understand it. For example, communism. Because we don't understand communism, we're told, we're given mis and disinformation about communism. The fact we were told that, for example, Russia owns everything. That's wrong. Russia actually is part of the government does own, and part of it belongs to the people. And if you look at true communism, it actually is beautiful, but it can never work. So just because a culture is different to ours, or because people are a different colour or look a different way, doesn't mean we should be frightened. Instead, we should embrace our differences, for we're all humans. I'm not lecturing here. I'm just saying, please don't judge. We all bleed the same colour. We should be standing united. United, we can win and defeat anything. But disunited, disharmony makes the earth vibrate at a lower frequency. Anyway, I'm off the topic. I tend to do that. I'm so sorry. Leave it in the comments. Do you believe in psychics, or do you believe they're frauds? And another thing, many years ago, I had a psychic read my fortune. She said I was coming into some money, and I thought, no, I'm not. Next minute, a car company where I had hired a car gave me back quite a big large sum of money from an insurance thing from an accident. So she was right there. She also said that within X amount of months I would be moved to a new city and have a job and a new husband. She got it perfectly right. A guess? Maybe? And I've also been to psychics, you know, the ones, the famous ones who say that they know about dead people, and they claim that I can see an Emma, and Emma she died, I think, from a lung condition, and she's your sister. I went to one of those type of psychics. There was 1,500 or more people at this hall, and this psychic was a spiritualist. She didn't get one right. That night, I had spirits follow me home. I had to help them move on, because when it works both ways. When someone claims that they're going to communicate with the deceased, those who are lost, the deceased, they too want to be in contact. So if someone says, I can do it, they too are hoping that they can do it. So, yeah, I've seen famous psychics. John, I don't know his name, and he asks leading questions. Now, I'm also very good at picking up that. I've done it on several occasions, picked up someone without being given information and without asking leading questions. And I also say to people, if you want me to do a reading, I'll do it. But if there's a skeleton in your closet, don't get me to do the reading, because it'll come out. It will come out. All right. Thank you for watching. love, light, and blessings. And yeah, are psychics frauds? Or do we all have psychic abilities, which I believe we do? And I believe a long time ago, like thousands, hundreds of thousands, even years, we all could do things. We were gifted humans psychically, but technology has destroyed that sense. You know how we have senses? That sense. What do you think? Leave it in the comments. Goodbye.